race fans. This is our new series called In the Driver's Seat, and today I'm joined by our arcade driver, Kole. Welcome to the new mini-series that we got going on.
It's our TED Talk.
It
I
is
like
our
the
TED
TED
Talk.
Talk, new podcast.
So I wanted to start this episode in this series, I guess, with your beginnings. So tell me about when you started, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so I was born and raised just outside Portland, Oregon. My dad never raced himself. He was always a race fan. But I started driving myself when I was about 4.5 or 5. Grew up at quarter midget racing. We had a dairy farm that had a huge baseball complex, a velodrome, and obviously a dairy farm, but they had a quarter midget track. And my grandpa, he's kind of the main reason we all kind of got into it. He's the one that got my dad a fan and stuck into IndyCar racing, NASCAR. Like, that was their weekly tradition. So my grandpa got my brother, Grayson. He's 6 years older than I am, and he got him a little Jeff Gordon kind of like RC car, essentially. And he would rip around that in the driveway. And my dad took my brother to a baseball game at Alpenrose, and Grayson ran off. Dad freaked out, didn't know what was going on, and Grayson just sat in the stands and was watching a test day for quarter midget racing. So it kind of got stuck at that point. I wasn't born yet, but when I was about 3 or 4 days old, like fresh out of the hospital, we were at a racetrack. So that was Grayson's first time at a track, in her car, and then really, as far as I can remember, it's been all racing from that point.
Oh, that's great. So what was your first series or car?
So it would have been quarter midgets. So I did that from when I was 5 to, I want to say, 11 or 12. And throughout this time, this would have been 2014, we were introduced to the Jefferson family. They're out of Natchez, Washington, and Jeff Jefferson and his brother Jason and Jerry Pitts united. They worked for Gene Price Motorsports back in the day for the ARCA. Well, was K&N West back then. They had Greg Persley, Cameron Haley, a lot of great drivers. But they went and united to start their own team, Jefferson Pitts Racing. And my brother Grayson was teammates with Noah Gregson. They ran 2 years of that. And the moral of the story of this was I met Dustin Ash, and he helped raise Noah in the racing ranks, and Riley Herbst and Zane Smith. So a lot of great people. And so I got connected with Dustin to go legend car racing after that. And ripped around the bull ring for 2 years, went to Tucson Speedway, and that really introduced me to the next group of family, Brad and Joanne Corneliuson, and ran a truck out there for a year, then super late models since then. So even though I'm from Oregon, after quarter midgets, I ran down south for quite a bit, and finally recircled back with Jeff and ran late models back home, and kind of the rest is history at this point. I've just been really close with Jeff and his family. I lived with them basically for about a year. This would have been in 23. So we've been able to win a lot of races together, and a lot of those people are still like family to me.
Nice. Do you remember a pivotal moment that was kind of your epiphany of this is what I want to do for the rest of my life?
I feel like it was probably since day one. Like, I loved racing just because it's all I've ever been around. I played basketball in the wintertime to stay busy and active, but I'd say right after quarter midgets and watching Grayson go through the ranks, it's like I wanted to follow Big Brother. I wanted to be like him. Everything he did, I wanted to mimic. And watching his learning process kind of shortened my learning curve at the same time. So I feel like as I continued winning races and just enjoying it more, and working on the cars and learning the different aspects of it all, just gave me a new love for it. And I've always said since I was probably about 10 or 11 that I don't care if I'm driving or in the shop or laying decals, like whatever it may be, I want to be involved in the sport in some shape or form. So I feel like from a young age, it's what I wanted to do.
So I know Tucson is a big part of your story. Do you have any fond memories or funny moments?
So I'd say my favorite one, it would have been, it was a challenge between my teammate Brandon Farrington and I. And Brandon and I have become really close ever since then. And we were on such a hot streak. Like, we would do double feature mains, and he'd win the first one, I'd win the second one type deal. So like, we were just dominating in Tucson. And one of our really good friends, Josh Hitchner, had a massive beard at the time. And the goal was at the start of the year, he wasn't going to shave it until one of us won both mains. And so sure enough, about halfway through the year, I was able to win both main events. And so we sat him down in a chair and we opened up our own barbershop in our pits. And I was able to shave his beard for him. And that was probably like one of the coolest memories for me just because it was funny. It was a new way to keep some excitement for the team. And that's one I'll probably cherish forever was shaving Josh's beard. So it was good.
So tell me about your first really memorable win that you've ever had.
So quarter midgets was good. Legend cars was all right. But I'd say like my one I cherished the most and the first one in the late model would have been my first year in 2019 with TMI, and it was at the Chili Willy, the biggest race in Tucson. And we have a variety of prelim nights, and this was the first year the next gen body came out for the supers, and it was an odd and even heat race prelim deal, whatever you want to call it, and it was against Grace and my brother, and we were able to go win that race. And I just remember it was a 50 lap dash, but it was one of the coolest ones of being able to duke it out with him and to go start outside front row at that time, my biggest race of my life. And to do it against Grayson was just kind of a one up for me. We're just both very competitive, but to start the year out with a win like that at the biggest event was pretty special. And top it off to have the first official win for the 5-star next gen body, that was kind of a cool feather in my cap, I guess you can say. So that was definitely a special weekend.
I'm sure that was very special for the both of you.
100%. I mean, he tried to go and door me after the race, and I'm like, man, well, he still got 150 laps tomorrow. But no, it was special to have the whole family. My grandparents were down there for it, and it was just a overall special family moment.
So, out of all of these great adventures you've been on, what do you think was your biggest transition?
So I'd say after we wrapped up our final year at Tucson, Brandon and I, we went full time Spears SRL Southwest Tour racing, and at that time the series was fairly good. Like it was very competitive. You had one of the top snowball derby competitors, Derek Thorne, racing with you week in and week out, and it was rather humbling very quickly. We were paired up with really good people at SPS out of Vegas. We had Dustin Ash with us again. A lot of great guys that I grew up with. But going from winning every weekend to struggling to go crack the top 5, like it was a humbling experience for sure.
Right.
But was able to learn so much from racing guys like Derek Thorne and Jacob Gomes and a variety of people that are talented anywhere they go. And I feel like it was just a tough year overall and just really made you think about how bad you want this, right? Like at points it was easy to walk away, but I feel like we all stuck it out, and it was just a challenging year overall. But I feel like after 2021, it kind of just started climbing rather quickly in terms of having success and good runs and just having better racecraft and going to new racetracks. When you're stuck at one place, you get so comfortable and complacent with where you're at.
Absolutely.
So going to new challenges and going to half miles for the first time and going to 5/8 racetracks, like a variety of new places. And a place that I struggled at would be at that time was now Kevin Harvick Kern Raceway, but it's just crazy, like a full circle moment of struggling through that period, really getting my big break to come out to North Carolina because a few years later, was able to win a West race with Jerry Pitts at that racetrack. So it's kind of full circle to look at a struggling year really paid off in dividends in the long run. But it's definitely a big jump going from local to traveling late model racing for sure. Episode 1 cut.